Hello everybody and welcome back to my Undertale playthrough, where last time we were talking about Amber Heard and this time we'll try to not this boy, this stuff be doing numbers. Can't wait to get 2 views this time. Like I said before, I don't expect to get above 100 subscribers. If I get to that, it's colorfully surprised. But actually been really fun, like I said before, on this go around with YouTube stuff. Because I tell you, the last times, and it's been all primarily on this channel. There's another channel I have that I'm not going to disclose. If you figure it out, you'll get a big well, you found it award. Especially since there's kind of one key thing that, you know, kind of points to them being the same channel. Which does remind me, I'll need to actually get some stuff edited together. I know, one of my thoughts again was to get make a channel banner of just all the games I've played on the channel. They're gonna kind of increase with all the clips of just the more recent stuff and stuff. But it's gonna be interesting actually making some new stuff for the channel. And that's kind of the thing. I've not in prior run-throughs, and I act like I say it like it's a game or something. But in prior times when I've attempted doing YouTube and stuff like that, I usually haven't gotten, like, there'll be entire videos where they have not received a single view. And it does suck. It can be really disheartening. But that's the thing. This time around, I've made sure that instead of focusing on the numbers, like I said, this be doing numbers, and the more focus on just having fun. I tell you, I've had a lot more fun and have been opening up a lot more. Because if you were to go ahead and talk to past me saying, hey, do you mind talking about how your truck broke down or any other tales that have happened with you? My first instinct would be, how would you include that in a video? Also, are you, like, having to go through the hour-long thing? You know, just, it's a bunch of stuff I've changed. Especially with the whole thing of committing to not streaming, since, again, really bad internet. I will say, unless I get a bigger audience, I think I'm gonna try to just do recording and stuff like that. Because, even if I get better internet, I think it'd be primarily better scheduling out stuff and having it so, yeah, I have a couple days in the week I can go ahead and do stuff for recordings, and then otherwise have the rest of the week devoted to just doing my job, and then otherwise just having fun playing games. That's the one thing about it. And it kind of is a good thing that I don't play Undertale on my time, like, off or stuff like that. What I'm usually playing is some other games that especially since now I've been able to go ahead and actually focus on doing goals and stuff like that. I mean, for crying out loud, I hadn't even beat some of the games that I thought I had beaten, or at least there's no proof of them being beaten. I thought I beat Just Cause 3 on the PlayStation, for crying out loud, and it turns out I didn't even get that done. The only game that I thought that I had actually beaten, and I hadn't even done that. So it's just like, you know, you look at it and you're like, well, if I haven't even done that, then I should probably focus on doing stuff like that. That is the interesting thought about all of it. It's not just like, oh, well, I haven't been doing things the right way. It's also that I haven't been mentally in the space for it. You go ahead and you ask past me, and the reason why they're going ahead and stating that they don't know how to do what you're asking is because they just haven't had the ability to really think. Everything would be stressful. Everything had been focused on just trying to survive. Ooh, like that. And that's the thing. Looking back on the past and reflecting, I will say, okay, so like I said before, I got autism and all that, but with a bunch of other stuff. Depression is one of them. And one of the hardest things I think I've ever had was getting through it. I still have depression here from there, but it's a lot easier to deal with because of what I've done. Now, you might be asking, what have you done? You know, what an esteemed number doer have you done to even attempt to make things better? Well, it starts off with what I was talking about, setting goals. But, you know, gaming is one thing. It's like, okay, well, how do you expect people to really care about gaming if they don't actively game? Well, I didn't start my goals with gaming. That only came way after I had everything settled. What? What do you mean? I had a lot of stuff. Sorry, dying. I had a lot of stuff I had to get sorted before I can even attempt to do that stuff. For starters, one of the main reasons I've had any worries about it has been money. And it does change a lot of the time with different people. The reason I was having issues was because I just wasn't managing my money. I had a ton of stuff going to services that I didn't have, like, actual needs for. Like, what was it? I had Disney Plus when I didn't even watch shows, let alone shows on Disney Plus. It's just stuff like that, where it's like, I had a ton of subscriptions I didn't need. And I had a ton of other stuff where my money was going, and I didn't have it, like, you know, I wasn't thinking about it. There's also the aspect that one of the problems I had was because I wasn't budgeting, I wasn't knowing how much I was putting towards food weekly. And of course it'd be like, okay, well, how do you not know that? It's because I wasn't doing shopping weekly like I am now. I was doing it pretty much daily. I would go to work, and then I would pick up some food to get me through to the next shift. And that's the problem, I wasn't planning ahead. It wasn't that I didn't have enough money, it's that I just wasn't planning it out. And so that really affected where my money was going. Not to mention there was some other stuff, like, I don't spend money on digital stuff all that much. Outside of gaming in general, I try to stray away from anything like digital currency and stuff like that. Yeah, that becomes a problem when you're doing doing Warframe, and a reasonable thing is to want to speed up stuff. Especially when the big new update hits and stuff like that. And I will say with Warframe, their stuff is a lot more respectful. It's not like they lock everything behind it. Not to mention, for the stuff they do, you can focus on doing in-game stuff to get platinum and stuff like that. But it's still like a quicker way, and the fact I got money, it's like, oh, I'll just spend my money. Then it becomes, well, you're spending a good chunk of it on just digital currency on this stuff. And it's going really fast, so then you have to spend more money on it. So it was just... And on top of that, it was like, well, no, the only enjoyment I was getting was from playing Warframe, because I wasn't exactly getting stuff set up so I could be happy about stuff. You know? That's the thought around the goals part. Once I actually got ahead and finally started budgeting, I was then able to go ahead and start looking and saying, okay, I got my budgeting all set up. How do I make it so that I don't spend more than I need? Easy. You make it so those wants, such as wanting to spend money on a game when you've already bought it for digital stuff to speed up stuff, not your main goal. Well, how would you do that if your main thing is that you find enjoyment in playing the game? Well, you try to find another game to get enjoyment out of. Well, you can't just pick one game. You're right, you can't pick one game. You have to pick multiple games. You can't be anticipating, oh, I see, okay. You can't just have one game be your good-all, end-all stuff. You gotta have it so that you have multiple games that you're wanting to go play, want to go ahead, actually have fun with. But that can be problematic when you're playing a game and you get disheartened because you're getting nowhere in it. And then you quit early because you're not getting anywhere. And it can tend to steamroll. And I'll probably try to talk a little bit more of this in the next episode. But yeah. Thank you guys for tuning in and all that jazz. Other than that, like and subscribe, comment down below, and I will see you guys in the next video. Have a great day.